Y'all, Rashena said, y'all not about to eliminate her first. She gonna leave the show and self-eliminate, okay? And Chaz, you could have just stayed up in your room instead of leaving the house. Y'all, let's go on and get into this episode of Ready to Love. This is season 9, episode 10, titled Nephew Tommy's Getaway Part 2, y'all. I am nothing to do with the video, but I'm officially on spring break and I'm just so happy. So I'm ready to just get these videos done and enjoy my break, enjoy my weekend. Anyway, y'all, before we get into it, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, y'all. Please subscribe to the channel, y'all. I appreciate all my new subscribers. Y'all been coming through. Comment down below. Let me know if you are a new subscriber. Share this video where you like to share your content. You can tag me on Twitter at Brandy Yvonne if you share the video on there. And like I said, comment down below. Let me know what y'all thought of this episode. And hit that thumbs up button if I didn't say that. Anyway, let's get into this review real quick, y'all. So this is Nephew Tommy's Getaway Part 2, like I said. So we're finishing the getaway. As you see in the scene behind me, right, is where we left off last week with the cliffhanger that we didn't need because we already knew that William was getting eliminated, okay? It made sense for the narrative of the show. It wouldn't make sense for Laron to go home, and it wouldn't make sense for Alonzo to go home. So bye, William. I think that was for the best. It sounded like he had a lot going on with the family at home and everything. So it's probably for the best that he was eliminated. But y'all, let me know if y'all agree with that in the comments or not. Um, anyway, Nephew Tommy said, it's a hard thing. Patrice up there crying. Everybody's getting a little emotional. Nephew Tommy said this week, now the men are going to be in control and they need to focus on trust and vulnerability. All right, so we're going to finish the getaway and then they're going to show a couple dates at the end of the episode. So anyway, Vanessa went to go check on Patrice because Patrice was crying about William getting eliminated. And Patrice said in a confessional that it sucks that William got caught up in the bull with the whole Snake and Alexis and Will thing and getting rid of Koshia and all that drama. And it is unfortunate, but William had a lot going on, okay? Now, Patrice is mad because they are knocking out her connections, and so her numbers are going down. That's why Patrice is sad. Vanessa, went to check on her, but Patrice didn't really answer the door. All right, so then inside, Laron and I think Alonzo and Chaz are all talking, right? And they're like, man, that was a tough elimination. Laron is like, man, I was in the bottom. I thought I was going home. And Chaz was saying, yeah, I thought I was going home too. And I was like, Chaz, you really for real? Because you was up there playing last week. I thought you was playing. So Laron was like, well, can you tell me why you said that? Thank you. Why did you say that? So Chaz said, because these ladies are looking for me to like make a decision and they feel like I'm being confusing and I'm playing with them, so they might have me on the chopping block. But that's not really how this show works, Chaz. Like, I mean, you are copy and pasting the text messages like Corey was, so maybe they should eliminate you, but I think they're not, Chaz, because you unfortunately, Chaz is the best option out of what we got, right? Justin's not bad, and LeBron is not bad, and Alonzo, if that's your type. But yeah, Chaz is all we can work with at this point. Chaz, throw the whole season away. Anyway, Fort Worth, no thank you. Let's go to another state, please. Please. Can we go to the Midwest? Can we go to the West Coast? Can we go to the East Coast, please? So anywho, Chaz is concerned about all that. All right. So then we see Vanessa and Chaz talking. Vanessa's like up there getting emotional because she feels like Chaz ain't checked on her all day. He over there checking on everybody else, but he's not really giving her the attention that she would require. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm right here. What are you saying? And she was like, okay, you haven't spent all day with me. Like all the other ladies, I bet you they can say they spent time with you, but you gotta spend all day with me. She's like, it's already 7 o'clock. Now I'm assuming this is the PM, right? So he was like, okay, like it's only 7 o'clock. Like, what you mean? She's okay, and it's been 12 hours in the day already. Like, what you saying? And so then, she was like, I just need you to be here for me. Like, you're not really showing me that. And he was like, what are you saying? And he felt like she was not being mature and lacking emotional intelligence. And I'm like, no, like she wants you to show up for her. Like, we haven't seen a lot of Vanessa and Chaz interaction on this getaway. You too busy eating fruit from off of Rashena. So that's what Vanessa is talking about, sir. That's what she's talking about. Anyway, y'all, I'm adjusting this. So anyway, Chaz is like, you know what, I don't care about all this, I'll leave right now. Like, is that what you want me to do? Like, if I have to leave, I get eliminated. Like, I don't care, I'll leave right now. And so then she left the conversation, he left the conversation, he mad, talking about, man, this is too much. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. This is too much. I'm overwhelmed. So then Mya and I want to say Rashena were outside talking, and they was like, we don't know what's going on because next thing we know, we see Chaz storming by us, and couldn't nobody stop him to talk. He was mad. So Vanessa came out and she was telling them about the conversation, and she feels like she don't know if she's being gaslit or if she's expecting too much. And they're like, no. Mya's telling her like, no, don't you ever feel like you are expecting too much or you requiring something is not right. Like you should have the expectations that you have. Very true, Vanessa. Like if he's not paying you no mind, he wasn't paying you no mind. Like I don't care what you're going through, Chaz. Like yeah, it's overwhelming. And when Chaz and Vanessa were having their conversation, she said, I don't feel like you're, playing this right because you're over here adding connections to the roster while you're over here saying you're having such a hard time. And that's my thing because Patrice came right up in there last week talking about she want to be putting her hat in the ring when it comes to Chaz. Meanwhile, you struggling with all these connections. You over here trying to play with Mika as well on the side. So we don't feel sorry for you, Chaz. Like, I get it. You should go through the process like you said. He said he's doing the process. I'm okay with him doing the process. What I'm not okay with is you not handling it correctly, maybe, and maybe spreading yourself too thin. Like if you can't handle a bunch of connections, then maybe you shouldn't add to it. Like Patrice, you're not a connection, sis. And next week she talking about she in an entanglement. I'm like, girl, no, you not. No, you not. Now we did see Chaz and Patrice have a bit of a connection in the very beginning, and I'll say that, but child, no. Anywho, it ain't it. So anyway, Chaz is upset. All right. So then, everyone's kind of feeling like, weird about everything. And so Nephew Tommy did say they were gonna have a crab boil and he had a surprise for later. So then the crab comes out for the crab boil, right? Well, actually, let me back up because Justin is not feeling well. And so Mika went to check on him and he said he wanted a steak dinner or something. He said he had a headache. I don't know if he was hungover or something. I don't know. So she was trying to fix his hair for him. She said he needed to put some water in it. And then he said something about, he thanked her for like, helping her out. They just had like a little playful moment. And then she was like, he said, well, I'm going to be right back in here later anyway. She's like, oh, you gonna sleep in my room tonight? And she had a big old smile on her face. I said that he like leaned on her on the bed, they playing around. I said, oh, what y'all about to be doing? They getting very physical. They was all hugged up. Okay, I'll live for Mika and Justin. I didn't see it. I don't think she would have if he wanted kids, I don't think she would have a newborn for him. No, I don't think she would have no kids for him, but they'll make it to the bridge. Is all I see for them. They'll make it to the bridge. And they'll be broken up after reunion time. Okay. Anyway, we also see Rashena and Justin have a conversation at some point in the episode because Justin wanted just to thank Rashena for letting him come to the process and do his thing and explore and all that. And he said she's been one of the best people he's met so far. She was one of the first people he, kind of got to know, connected with, right? And so he said, I know you've been seeing me spend a lot of time with Mika during this process. And thank you for allowing me to explore that. I didn't want you to feel some type of way. She's like, oh no, like that's fine. Like I'm happy for you guys. I want you to work out. So they basically kind of established that they were going to be friends. Excuse me. And my thing is, Rashena, girl, all these men are curbing her to the level. Like she keep coming in second place. And I don't like that for my sis. Like Rashena's too beautiful for all that. Like, girl, you deserve better. All these men played in Rashena's face, in my opinion, y'all. But y'all let me know if y'all agree in the comments. So, anywho, then like I said, they did the crab boil. They had a lot of, not crab boil. It was a crawfish boil, right? So they decided to have a crawfish boil. Laron was happy to get some crawfish. He said he's an addict with the crawfish. He was concerned that he may go home and he wasn't going to get a plate. He was going to take a bowl to go. So I said, thank God Laron did not get eliminated. so he could sit there and eat that as much as that crawfish as he wanted to eat. Okay, it did look good. I like crawfish, but I'd rather have like just a regular crab boil. Like crawfish be a lot of work. Okay, and I ate so much crawfish growing up. Like I'm good. So anyway, Laron was telling Alonzo how to eat it because he didn't know how. So he's like, "You got to suck right here, do all that." And so Alonzo's like, "Okay, pause." You know how they do. And so Justin. I don't know why I want to call Justin Jonathan now. Anyway, Justin making jokes to my he needs some Magnum gloves, please. So anyway, Patrice, she said she was over there going through a hard time. She gathered herself, but then she saw somebody else was in need, y'all. So she seen that Chaz was upset and distraught. He was in tears. He was hurt. He was going through it. So she went to go check on Chaz. And Chaz said he is leaving this process. He can't take it no more. He got to go. People don't want him here. He's letting people down. He can't do it no more. She said, "What do you mean? We would love for you to stay. We all, don't you think? No, we all care about you here. We all want you to be here. Don't go." And so he was like, "No, he got to go. He can't. He just got to get himself together. He got to go. He can't take it no more. He got to go right now." So she was like, "Well, let me pray for your brother." So she prayed for Chaz. Right. And he still decided to pack his things and go. Okay. So remember that little scene we seen from the previews, right? So Chaz packed his stuff and went on, y'all. And so then Patrice came out to where they was having a crawfish, because they was outside, because I guess they said y'all not finna mess with their house eating that stuff in the house. So she went out there and told them the bad news that Chaz left the process. He was really going through it and he needed to get himself together. Like, he left the house, but he's not leaving the process, basically. And so Rashena felt some type of way because, like, why did he talk to Patrice about it? And she was able to console him, but then he didn't talk to her about it. Rashena, it's not about you, girl. It's not about you. So anyway, everybody felt like it was just a little heavy at the time. Everybody needed to kind of breathe and regroup. So they just enjoyed the crawfish, Laron said it's feeling like a funeral. It's feeling real heavy. So he's like, "Let's turn up. Let's have a good night." So, they put the music on. Y'all know how they do. Alonzo put on his bonnet and his skates, all that good stuff. They was having a good time dancing in the house. And they have fireworks show up outside. And now when the episode ended, I was like, "Well, what was a surprise Nephew Tommy had?" And then it clicked like, "Oh, the fireworks was a surprise." All right. So thank you, Nephew Tommy. Yay, fireworks. So anywho, then at nighttime we see, I guess Vanessa, she was sleeping alone. Well, she already made that clear. And Rasheena, girl, you was sleeping alone. Alonzo went to go do a movie night with Patrice. He said he ain't mad that Chaz is gone. He gonna use this time to cuddle up with Patrice. Okay. We also see Laron and Mya decide to have a movie night, and he want to watch something scary. Tell me, "You want to sit on my lap and tell me what you want, like Santa Claus?" No, she does not, sir. No, she does not. We also see Jonathan and Mika in the bed. I look like Mika was sneaking into his room. Not sneaking, but she was going in there and talking about, "You gonna have me as a guest?" And she said, "We're gonna do a little Netflix and chill." And they was all in the bed together. I said, "Everybody gonna have them little movie night that's closing the door behind them." Okay, what happened, y'all? Let me know. So anywho, the next morning, Justin has a conversation with Rashena just to check on her and see how she's feeling about the Chaz thing. And he said even though they're moving in the directions of friends, he still felt bad for her and could see that she was upset about everything. And he did really want to check on her. So he checked on her. She said, yeah, she was just kind of confused and upset about the whole thing and doesn't understand why, Chaz didn't talk to her about it. And so he was there for her as a friend. And then, Laron's like, "We got to go to work, so we got to get out of here." And so they left the trip. Okay. So then we do see, I feel like I'm missing a scene from the getaway. If I am, let me know in the comments, y'all. So then we see Laron and Mya going on a date. So Laron said he had to plan this one-on-one date with Mya after the getaway. He had a seized opportunity. So he was dressed nice. Mya, you was looking good, girl. Them shoes and that dress, girl. You got legs. Come on, girl. So anywho, he ordered oysters for her. She said she's really into seafood. He tried to feed it to her, talking about it's an aphrodisiac. I was like, you did not need to do that. You did not. And it didn't even go well. It was a silly moment. So then, they're talking about vulnerability and trust this week. So he asked her about like what she wanted out of life, and she said she did want the white picket fence, the house, the family, the kids, but she didn't want to just be locked up in the house. She want to have fun, like at least go out once a month or so. He's like, I'm gonna have you out once a week, and she's like, oh my god, you're so silly. So then they're just talking about the things they want to have out of life, and how they really relate. And Laron was saying he didn't think that he would really connect with Maya on this level. Like if it wasn't for Koshia leaving and then William left, like would they have had the chance to connect like this? I don't know. I didn't see it for Maya and William. Like that made no sense to me. So I don't know. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. But they could just continue to connect on how much they had in common. And LaRon was saying he feels like at 31 years old, he should already have kids. LaRon, trust me. that ain't necessarily true, sir. Okay. It will happen when it happens for you. And that's basically what Maya was saying. Like, she doesn't feel that way. She knows that, she believes in God and looks for signs from God. And if it hasn't happened yet, it just wasn't her time, which is very true. And so he's like, oh, did you receive a sign from God about me? And so she's like, this must be a sign right here because we here together. You running game, girl. So then she said something about him being a charmer. And so she's like, no, it's a good thing. It's a, personality trait. It's a good one to have. But she said in her confessional that, she's really starting to like Laron a lot more after this. She didn't know he could have a romantic side. And the date was really nice and romantic. It did seem like a good date. I don't know if I could take Laron fully seriously, but Laron and Mya makes sense. They're way more evenly yoked, okay, out of anybody else on the show right now. Maybe Mika and Justin could work as well, but Maya and Laron makes sense. They have very similar lifestyles and values. They make the most sense to me right now, so I can go along with that. If I gotta say we got some couples I could call, we could say Maya Laron, we could say Justin and Mika. Patrice, I don't think fully wants Alonzo. I think she's playing with Alonzo. I really think she's playing with Alonzo. I think she want a grown man like William or Chaz, but that's just my opinion. I don't know what Vanessa and Chaz gonna do. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. Anyway, we also see another date with Alonzo and Patrice across town. They're doing like one of those, not trapeze, but when they use the harness stuff and they doing flips and stuff in there and the exercise thing. I don't know what they call it. I probably wouldn't do it because I'm scared of heights. But if it was like a regular on the floor exercise class, I'm there. So anyway, Alonzo's talking about trust is the word, the magic word of the week. And he said, you trusted me, tried something new. That was really good. He somehow got on topic of his dad and saying that he wasn't even used to saying the word dad. And then he finally did. And then his dad passed away. And it was hard seeing him on his deathbed. I guess his dad didn't tell people he was sick. And now that's why he really gets his yearly checkups and 6 months appointment. He trying to stay healthy. And so Patricia's like, that's good. It's all about what you put in your body and what you eat and all that. And she said something about conquering fear. She wants to do everything that she is afraid of. And so he's like, what about love? Are you afraid to fall in love? And she said, no, she's not afraid to fall in love. He said, are you afraid to fall in love with me? I said, well, he gonna ask the right questions, ain't he? And she said, no, I'm not afraid to fall in love with you. She said she has a good time with him. And he just makes her smile all the time. I think Alonzo is just pure fun for Patrice, right? That's all I see it for. Just a good time, not a long time. And that's okay. They'll make it to the bridge. I think they might make it to the bridge. That's an extreme might, right? And so they just, connected on that. And that was pretty much most of their conversation, y'all. So then I believe we get down to the gentleman's lounge. There's no more dates after that. They get down to the gentleman's lounge, and it's just 4 men left: Alonzo, Laron, Chaz, and Justin. Okay, so this is the last men's lounge. Okay, so nephew Tommy, well, Chaz came in and the men were, surprised to see him. Laron said he's glad his guy Chaz is back and he just had a moment and he's good now. Nephew Tommy came in that yellow shirt. Alonzo liked it. Now, in the deliberations, I said, what is this shirt that Alonzo's wearing? What is this shirt? Did it have stars on the back? It had aliens or animals or something on it. It was purple. I didn't know what was going on with that shirt Alonzo had on. I didn't know what was going on with that, y'all. So, anywho, Justin made a joke saying, "Can you connect me with your stylist, brother?" So anyway, Justin do be funny though. So nephew Tommy asked about the getaway. He asked Chaz about it. Then Chaz explained. I figured he asked Chaz first because producers let nephew Tommy know that Chaz left the getaway. Now I was concerned if Chaz was gonna get in trouble for leaving the getaway because remember when Justin left the party in Miami because he had to, work. Then I think he got in trouble for that. And then LJ got in trouble for not coming to the getaway. I believe he was then deemed not ready to love. So I was concerned if Chaz was going to get in trouble. But when he explained himself to Nephew Tommy that he just needed a break and, black men feel too. And it was just really hard. And I was just overwhelmed and all this stuff. And Nephew Tommy understood and he was okay with that, right? And it was understandable, although I feel like you kind of brought the overwhelmed stuff on yourself. And I think Chaz is one of those people that he probably didn't always grow up fine. Like maybe he used to be a nerd or something back in the day. Like he didn't have it going on back in the day. Okay. Like back then y'all didn't want him, but now he hot and y'all all on him. That's what Chaz is giving, right? And so he not used to getting all this attention from the ladies, right? So anywho, Justin said, he could definitely understand being overwhelmed. But he's like, but let me tell you, like you were so missed. Everyone was so sad. Laron was like, yeah, it was like a funeral. Okay. So then, everybody else talked about their connections. And Laron said, he really connected with Mya. He always liked her from the beginning, but he didn't expect them to really grow in this way. And he's really liking her. He said even earlier in the episode that he's really starting to have feelings involved with Mya. Justin talked about his connection with Mika, and every time he's like, she's a real mother, He's like, yes, I like that. Okay, so he could see himself with Mika. Great. Alonzo talked about Patrice, how this is so easygoing, having conversations with her. They have a good time together. She's been there, done that. And it's just so easy. They always laugh. They have a good time together. Then Nephew Tommy went into, okay, who are you not feeling? I think Justin said Patrice, they just don't have any chemistry. Laron said Vanessa, just a friend vibe. And Alonzo said Rasheena. And he was like, dang, like not to bring up the Chaz thing again, but when Chaz left, it was like, dang, are we chopped liver? Like you got these other great guys here. Like, come on. Somebody else said Rashena as well. Justin said, because Nephew Tommy said, who is just not ready to love you, right? At this point is where we are in the process. So Justin said Rashena, they basically had the conversations they needed to have. And he feels like she's not ready to love him, like they're more on a friend vibe. So then Nephew Tommy brings up the Chaz, like, okay, now what's up with you and Rashena? Like you were connected at the beginning. So Chaz said, we were really strong connection in the beginning. I know she felt some type of way with me, the way I left the house and everything like that. He said, he started out really strong with Vanessa and Rashena. Then going into the house, it was the same. But then, things with Rashena might be iffy now. So Nephew Tommy says, sounds like you need to have a conversation with Rashena and that be the deciding factor on if Rashena is ready to love or not, or she needs to lead the process. So basically, Chaz is going to take Rashena on a date to tell her if she is ready to love or not. And it reminded me of the Houston season with that girl, Alexis Fly, and that guy, AJ, and Kira. Remember all that drama, y'all? And when they was on the trip, AJ didn't want to send Kira home. He was acting like he's going to pick Alexis over her. And then he finally sent Alexis home. That's what it reminded me of. Except Chaz wasn't wasting all the time AJ was, right? AJ was dragging it on. But I ain't mad at those good old days of Ready to Love, though. I ain't mad at it. And so, anywho, like, we will never forget that season, right? So, Chaz takes Rashena on a date. So, Rashena coming to date. She's like, she already feeling some type of way because, Chaz, he hasn't really communicated. He didn't hit her up when he left the house, all this stuff. So, Chaz said it's a hard decision he has to make in his confessional. Okay, so they get to the date. Rashena comes. I was like, girl, where your purse? Anyway, she said, what's up? He said, what's up? She said, what's up? He was like, how are you doing? Like, you tell me what's going on. And she said she want to talk about the dun dun duns. And then he laughed. He's like, what's the dun dun duns? She was like, And when I got to talk to you, it's the dun dun dun. She's like, first of all, I haven't really heard from you. He said he sent her a message. She said yes, and I was gonna respond. And then this date came up because production contacted me, right? So then he was saying like, okay, well, tell me how the rest of the trip went because I heard it was like a funeral. I was like, Chaz, you was stroking your ego a little bit, huh? So she was like, yeah, it was really hard when you left, but at the end of the day, we had a good time. Like, yeah, it was sad, but we still left the trip on a good note. Like, and what? And so she said, I didn't like how you just left the trip and you didn't really even say nothing. And so he was like, okay, well, how would you have liked me to handle it? And so she said, well, I would have appreciated you like coming to talk to me about it and maybe we could work it out. Or, when you left, you could have said something and said, hey, I just need my space. Now, he probably could have communicated maybe with Vanessa and Rashena. I don't think he owed Mika and Patrice nothing, but he could have definitely communicated with Rasheena and Vanessa once he left the house and said, hey, I need to take a breather, or even said it before he left. I wouldn't have been mad if he would have handled it much better than he did instead of like storming out, making it a whole tantrum fit thing like he did, right? I'm okay with him taking a breather. I just don't like the way he did it. Okay. I wish he could have just handled it a little better, but when you're in a situation, all right, we get it, I guess. So then Rashena is basically like, she could tell something up. She knows something up, she feel it. And then he was like, what you mean? She's like, no, I'm just trying to get to the meats and the potatoes because Rashena knows this is elimination week. So she already know why she is here. So then Chaz goes on to say, well, Nephew Tommy, we met with Nephew Tommy this week. And we met in the lounge, And so then she was like, let me stop you right there. I feel like, you're a great guy and we connected a lot from the beginning. But, that whole situation with the house and all your connections, it left me feeling very confused and I don't understand where you are and all this stuff. So then he proceeds to say, Rashena, I think you're a wonderful woman. You're a ride or die. You're a good mother. You're a good person. But we met in the gentleman's lounge. So she was like, well, hold up. I didn't finish saying what I was going to say. So then he was like, okay, well, I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to get out what I'm trying to say. She was like, no, but you interrupted me because I'm trying to say what I was going to say. But then you kept talking when I was trying to say what I'm going to say. So then they just kept going back and forth, interrupted each other. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Was this elimination? So Rasheena was like, no, see, I had to say all this stuff. I was already coming in here to say all this stuff. Like, I already had this speech planned out before we was even coming here. And I was like, well, girl, you should have said this speech 3 dang weeks ago. So then he's going to say, okay, well, he's like, well, you coming in defensive, like you coming in guarded, like you already know what's going to happen. She's like, no, because I already know it's a mess. I already know what's going on. Like, I already know. And then he was saying like, she's just very regarded. Like, I don't really know like what's going on with her. So then so then he was like still trying to tell her like, you not ready to love. Like basically, okay, so we met in the lounge. She was like, let me stop you right there before you go any further. And then let me just get out what I'm trying to say before you interrupt me again. That I was already going to self-eliminate from the process before this date anyway. I felt like, we had a strong connection beginning, but now it's not working out. And I know I am ready to love, but I'm not ready to love you. Like, I know my person is out there. So basically she eliminated herself before he could eliminate her. And I was cranking up. I said, Rasheena said she gonna pull a David and get ahead of the enemy. Okay, you will not be telling Rasheena she is not ready to love. And I'm like, Rasheena, girl, you could have been self-eliminated because nobody was really checking for you. Like, I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean the men didn't put the effort in with Rasheena that they could have. And I'm surprised Rasheena made it this far because I kept getting kind of a homegirl vibe from her. Like, I never felt like she was a first place for anybody on the show. So I was actually surprised she even made it to this getaway, to be honest, right? So Rasheena said she knows she's ready to love. She wins some, she lose some, but she gonna be okay. And Chaz said, yeah, girl, you gonna be good. But either way, you ready to love. I mean, no, he didn't say that. He didn't say nothing else. So basically he didn't even have to say you're not ready to love because she did it for him. Like, don't tell me I'm not ready to love. That's what she was giving. Anyway, y'all, next week it looks like the ladies are introducing the men to their families or their parents or something. I think it's the families. So we're going to see how that's going to go, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. this video where you like to share your content. Okay. And I will talk to y'all again soon. I owe y'all like 2 videos and I will get to them, y'all. It's just a busy time. Anyway, bye.